Virtual University of Pakistan. Before we start the proceedings of the conference, I invite Mr. Abdul Quddus Durrani from Virtual University of Pakistan to come on stage and recite a few verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا وتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون. And remember, when your Lord said to the angels, I am about to place my caliph in the earth, they said, will you place as a caliph one who will spread turmoil in it and shed blood, whereas we glorify you with praise and proclaim your sanctity? He said, I know what you do not. And Allah the Supreme taught Adam all the names of things, then presented them to the angels, saying, tell me the names of these, if you are truthful. They said, purity is to you, we do not have any knowledge except what you have taught us. Indeed, you only are the all-knowing, the wise. He said, O Adam, inform them the names. And when Adam had informed them their names, he said, did I not tell you that I know all the secrets of the heavens and the earth, and I know all what you disclose and all what you hide. Sadaqallahu Mawlana al-Azim.
Jazakallah. The audience is requested to please rise for national anthem. All are requested to remain standing till the national anthem is played. The conference will provide a platform for deliberations and discussions with a focus on policy-level possible changes to be implemented in the academia in particular and the society in general. The purpose of this conference is to explore new horizons for social sciences and humanities, understanding their unique perspectives, and draw attention to the possible challenges of the new millennium for Pakistan. It will also furnish a foundation of a useful forum for the participants to share their experiences and avail opportunities, leading to extended collaboration in the field of social sciences and humanities among individuals and institutions. We are honored to have internationally acclaimed scholars among us from all over the country and across the globe. The conference will be of interest to students, practitioners, educationists, and scholars. I am honored to introduce Professor Dr. Masroor Lai Babar, Dean Faculty of Science and Technology, Virtual University of Pakistan. He is a senior scientist having several awards to his credit, including Excellence Award by PM and CM, Qaid-e-Azam Gold Medal, Best University Teacher Award by HEC, and Tamga Imtiaz. I invite Professor Dr. Masroor Elahi Babar for the opening remarks. Please, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Very respected Chief Guest, Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, our esteemed keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Chowk-Hu, Mr. Sajjad Imran, very respectable our Rector Naveed Malik, Dr. Uzma Qureshi, Vice Chancellor, Lahore College for Women University, Professor Dr. Najma Najam, who is also General Chair of this LDEC, also Chair of this conference, very respectable scientists, researchers, professors within the country and out of the country, who spared the time here and came here to have discussion on this very important social aspects and humanities topic, and to attend this first international conference on social sciences and humanities entitled Challenges and Prospects in the New Millennium, organized jointly by Virtual University of Pakistan along with Women University, Lahore. Very respected audience, there is a very good poetry that instead of trying to become God, it would be much better to become a good human and a member of a society, so that we can establish a good society and to have such good norms settled in the society. In this society in Pakistan, always we are trying to get the admission in science subjects, in medical, agriculture, engineering, and less emphasis is given in the social sciences subjects, which is very dangerous to me. Always try to become good humans is a very good option, and for this we have to do much more research on the scientific lines. I think that this conference will give a platform to all of us to discuss and to present good research on different topics of social sciences and humanities, and this discussion will definitely give us the recommendation for becoming good humans in the society. There is a need, and I request Higher Education Commission to increase the number of journals of impact factors in social sciences also and in humanities, so that these researchers can also make some good research and presentations and scientific papers so that we can have good research on these topics too. I am thankful to all of you that you are here, and I pray success for this conference. I request all my foreign delegates that including and also in participating in this conference, they should also enjoy the weather of Lahore and the historical places of Lahore and the food of Lahore also. Thank you, all of you, to be here with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We are honored to have Dr. Anita M. Weiss, Professor, Department of International Studies from the University of Oregon, Eugene, USA, with us as the opening keynote of the conference. Dr. Anita received her doctorate in sociology from UC Berkeley. She has published extensively on social development, gender issues, and political Islam in Pakistan. She is currently in Pakistan on a Harry Frank Guggenheim Research Award, conducting interviews for her current book project, Countering Violent Extremism in Pakistan, Local Actions, Local Voices. Professor Weiss is a member of the Editorial Board of Globalizations, has been a member of the Research Advisory Board of the Pakistan National Commission on the Status of Women, and was the co-PI of the Karakoram International University and University of the Oregon Partnership. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Anita M. Weiss to address the conference.
ये नहीं है, ये बंद करो। ये आफ्टरनून, ये मेरी असली तकरीर है। अच्छा, अदाबारस। मैं तो मुशाहिद हुसैन तो नहीं है, वो इस्लामाबाद से नहीं आ सके इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए, लेकिन मैं बड़ी खुश हूँ कि इन लोगों ने मुझे इनवाइट किया इस प्लेनरी सेशन के लिए भी। मैं आफ्टरनून में अपनी करंट तहकीक के लिए बात करूँगी। अभी मैं अंग्रेज़ी में बात करूँ क्योंकि डॉक्टर नजम ने मुझे कहा कि काफ़ी गैरमुल्की लोग है जो उनको उर्दू नहीं आती, तो माफ़ कीजिए मैं अंग्रेज़ी में बात करूँ, ठीक है? So first, I would like to thank the organizers of the conference for inviting me here, especially Dr. Mukhtar, Dr. Najma Najam, Aisha Perveen, and many others. First, मैं थोड़ी सी दोनों ज़बान में बात करूँ। मैं पाकिस्तान कम अज़ कम 40 साल से आती जाती हूँ। मैंने 7 किताबें पाकिस्तान के बारे में लिखे हुए हैं. I've come here for about 40 years. I've written 7 books on Pakistan. And I've seen a lot since I arrived in the late 1970s. I've seen this vibrant, dynamic muashra, a society that has really transformed fundamentally in the 40 years I've been here. I'm not saying negative, positive. I'm not putting any value judgments on this transformation because it's not the role of social scientists to do that. It's the role of social scientists to study social change, to study what's happening in a society and to explain it, to analyze it, understand issues of generalizable significance, comparative issues, and the like. I've seen a society where very few people, very small percentage of the population was educated. Now, a substantially larger percentage of the population is educated, but then there's also huge population growth. I've seen schools that once catered really solely to the elites. They still cater to elites, but then there's a whole new cacophony, plethora, wide variety of new schools that are coming up all over the country. Some are highly credible, some less so. I myself have been very impressed by the efforts to promote critical thinking and to think of themselves as actors in a new Pakistan that's happening in the Bacha Khan schools in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and the Zoya schools in Punjab. I've been very impressed by how children in these schools have told me about the social changes happening around them. How can these children say that? Because of the teachers at the schools who are also credible social scientists. So when we think about how Pakistan was, we can also look at Pakistani state policies towards education. In the 1980s, there was a bit of emphasis on the hard sciences, but in the 1990s and the 2000s, huge emphasis. Opening new universities, huge emphasis on the physical sciences, fair enough. But you can't just have, one part being emphasized. There's a huge need in Pakistan for Pakistanis to do what I have been doing. And there are more and more people coming up and doing that, to talk to people, to learn from people. मैं अंदरून शहर विच बैठी हुई थी ज़मीन पर कुछ ख़वातीन के साथ 1987 में When I was doing the field research for my book, Walls Within Walls, Life Histories of Working Women in the Old City of Lahore, they told me what was happening to them. But because I met so many of them, I was able to cross-reference what they were saying. I returned repeatedly back to them. And now when I look at what has happened in the old city of Lahore, I can solidly discuss the kinds of transformations that have occurred in terms of social realities as Azam Cloth Market has spread in the old city, and the types of communities that used to exist in the different kuchas and different mahallas of the old city have broken down. What does that mean for social cohesion in Pakistan? What does it mean when you were once deeply, and many of you know what I'm talking about, you were once deeply part of a community that was more than just your huge extended family, but it was the area where you lived. You knew your neighbors, you could engage with them. If somebody was doing something that everybody didn't approve of, you know, some boy was harassing girls or he was stealing cars or something, sab log us ilalaka mein bataya ke ye galat hai. Now you can't do that in most areas. So the kinds of traditional forms of social control, the kinds of traditional ideas have been changing. But what is left? And that's the importance of having social sciences to understand the social transformations happening in a society. Now, I'm not saying don't support the sciences, I'm saying we have to support everything in Pakistan. The other thing, related to this, I'm very glad to see that today in Pakistan we have a number of outstanding social scientists. Ishtiaq Saab is one of them, who is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Sargodha, Dr. Najma Najm at the Virtual University, Dr. Tayyar Amin is now at BZU in Multan, and all of them are showing leadership on further developing the social sciences in their respective universities. But we need more than that in Pakistan. We all know, I don't have to skirt around this issue, we all know about the culture wars that are sort of ripping Pakistan apart. As each person or different people say, this is what we should do, or this is Islam. And somebody else says, this is what we should do, or this is Islam. But they're not talking about the same types of social rules. That's why we need sociologists, anthropologists, political scientists, IR people to really interrogate all of these different issues. We need to let the world know what is really happening in Pakistan. You can get angry when you read the news from the West and they say this, this, and this. I mean, I have tried to raise my voice as a voice who can be listened to, a credible voice about the reality of Pakistan. But it's even stronger. I appreciate the mention earlier of having more more impact journals in Pakistan. It's a nice idea, but actually, you publish in impact journals around the world. Because if you only publish in Pakistan, nobody else will know what you're writing. You go and publish in Modern Asian Studies, go and publish in Pacific Affairs, or whatever it is in your disciplines, the right journals for you to be publishing in. And don't think, oh, I can't do it. It's important that you have somebody help you in Pakistan to make sure your English is clear and you're making your points, but there's no reason to think you can't publish internationally. I'll just throw this little carrot out. Indians publish all over the place internationally. You need to compete with them in publishing about the changes in Pakistani. Just because you've distributed a survey, does it mean everyone taking it understood the questions correctly? Who administered it? What were the circumstances? There's so much more rich knowledge and information you can get by either talking with people in interviews, doing content analyses in newspapers, or doing different types of bibliographic research, or participant observation, which is something that I do a lot in Pakistan. Like I said, I sat on the floor in women's homes in the old city of Lahore. I was interviewing them about their own lives while I was stringing flowers, while I was putting glue on shoes, while I was helping to make parandas, because I was immersing myself to really see the world from the inside out of how they look at the world. Anyhow, so my effort in my quest to enhance the social sciences in Pakistan, I've been giving talks at many different universities, especially professional development seminars, because I think it's really urgent, especially in these days, if there are social changes happening in Pakistan, and of course there are, we need social scientists to research them, understand them, and tell the world about them. Otherwise, all we hear is opinions. Thank you. Khudafiz.
We are honored to have Dr. Chok Hui, Professor of Health Psychology from the University of New Brunswick, Canada, with us as the opening keynote of the conference. Dr. Chok Hui is PhD from the University of Colorado. He has been a professor of health psychology, teaching at the University of New Brunswick, Canada for over 30 years. He has done numerous research psychology works in human consciousness, trauma and resilience, and extensive university teaching in community and health psychology. He has been the president of the International Council of Psychologists as well. It is my privilege to invite Dr. Chok Hui to please address the conference.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here to address you for a short while in relation to this international conference. This is my first trip to Pakistan in Lahore, so I am really not very familiar with quite a stranger, but I was here for the first few days attending another conference, and that was the International Conference on Health and Well-being in Lahore Women's College University, or Lahore College or Women's University, yeah. So my talk has to do with something that is, I think, quite relevant to Pakistan, and also in relation to the theme. I guess I control it, right? Okay. Well, I wasn't sure how my area, my discipline on psychology would fit in the theme of presented in this conference on social science. So I was looking to find a connection between what I do and what social sciences normally do. And I looked on a website of a symposium, the Harvard Social Science Symposium, around 2010 and 11. And this was a symposium where the top social scientists, at least in North America and Canada, were invited to come and talk about the 10 unsolved problems in social sciences. It has not been solved. It's something that's so important, but nevertheless has never been solved. I wanted to draw your attention to the first three. Okay, the first three topics listed as at the top by this group of social scientists in the Harvard Symposium. The first one, how can we induce people to look after their health? I said, my gosh, that's right in my alley. How can we induce people to look after their health? Okay, something that what I would consider is the most important role of psychological science. The second question, how do societies create effective and resilient institutions such as governments? My God, here's another word, resilience. So health and resilience, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the past 30 years, whether it's teaching or researching or doing, applying it in different communities, in different countries. Okay. And the third one, how can humanity increase its collective wisdom? Okay, wow, that's a big one. But, so I'm happy to stay with the first two, and this morning, very quickly, talk about health and resilience. Okay. And, okay, that way. Wow. That's the beginning? Okay. All right. Great. So, from the conference that I attended in the last few days, today we seem to be living in an era of trauma. No longer are we living in the past, we call it a stressful environment, right? All kinds of stresses, living in modern life. Today it goes beyond just simply stress, but it has now gotten to an even more extreme situation where it can be called trauma. In other words, life is traumatizing. Life is not only dangerous, life is traumatizing. Okay. And so the solution is, okay, the problem, the outcome of trauma, of course, is that it will lead to some form of unhealthy condition on the people, the individuals, the families, the communities, the societies that are feeling traumatized. Okay. Then the solution, of course, is that we need to come up with some way of dealing with this era of trauma that we live in. And that is something I would call resilience. So what are the kinds of traumatic events? Why do we need to label life today as being pretty traumatizing? Well, there's the usual kinds of illnesses and diseases that patients feel, the traumatic stress that people feel from people who survive cancer or cardiac disease or chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes, chronic pain, arthritis, drug and alcohol abuse, to name a few. So that's something that is fairly common. But today we have much more. We have the disasters, okay, the mass trauma, the natural disasters, okay, the earthquakes, the tsunamis, the floods, the hurricanes, the typhoons, where you literally have hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands even, maybe tens of thousands of people. It happened 5 years ago. Right now they are safe. They are totally overwhelmed by the emotional memories. Okay, and that's because there has been some damage to that part of the brain as well. Okay, so it looks like it's pretty serious. Okay, it's not just a temporary. The trauma effect is not just a temporary effect on one's mood or one's emotions, but there is permanent damage to the whole nervous system. Now, I tried to study and measure and develop a scale to measure resilience. Resilience is alive and healthy in Lahore. And it's wonderful that it is here. But I think you agree that it needs to you need some help, because resilience doesn't mean that you are a super person, that you can overcome every problem. Okay, from time to time, it's not enough. Your inner strength, your healthy self-concept, your ability to cope with the stress and the adversities is not enough. You need a lot of help. You need support. You need psychosocial support. Okay, so that's the model that came out from this research that I've been doing on resilience. Okay, and there are three sources of resilience. Okay, that's the strength that comes from your character, your self-perception. There's another strength that comes from your ability, your skills, your competence, and ability to be able to regulate your mind, to regulate your emotions. When you're upset, you know how to calm down. Okay. When you're angry, when you're afraid, you know how to relax and be able to resolve that extreme, overwhelming negative emotion. So that's self-regulation. And then, of course, you need relationships, you need support from not only the family, from your friends, from the community, and resources that is outside of yourself. So if you have sufficient level of resilience, then you will get emotional stability. Okay. All right. Now, since I am in the point where I'm told that it's time to stop, I will simply not go any further, but make the point that if the problem is trauma, then the challenge is to come up with ways of dealing with this trauma. Okay. Helping individuals to become more resilient, helping families to be more resilient, helping societies to be more resilient, helping institutions to be more resilient. Okay. And I believe that this is something that psychology and social sciences can contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for highlighting the importance of psychology and collaboration with social sciences. In his current role as the Area Director Punjab at the British Council, he oversees the management and operations of British Council in the Punjab region. I invite Mr. Sajjad Imran, Area Director Punjab British Council, to please address the conference.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, let me congratulate the organizers of this conference, which is really very well needed. And I'm really excited and grateful to the organizers of this conference to initiate this. And this is a very well needed initiation to start the discourse on the social sciences, locally as well as internationally. Personally, I'm a sociologist, and I'm grateful for once again Dr. Mukhtar, Dr. Najm, and Dr. Malik to bring all the social scientists together today in this forum. I was listening to the two key notes, and there are a couple of interesting words. Those came up: transformation and resilience. And that is only possible if we work around the social sciences. I don't want to talk about, as our honorable speaker said, I mean, the negatives and positives where we are currently, but we all know what are the deficiencies we are facing currently. And most of those deficiencies towards the development of this country are around the attitudinal problems, the social problems. And I hope this is a kind of forum, and because Dr. Mukhtar is here and we enjoy our partnership with the Higher Education Commission, And I personally, in my personal capacity, would be very delighted to see how we can enrich this process where, you know, we can support this resilient society of Pakistan. And I'm a big admirer of the resilience of our society, because we've gone through and we are going through a strange kind of transformation in different times, as he said, in the last 40 years. Is it really directed towards something? Is it really framed accurately within the social processes and the structure or any social direction and the vision where we want to take this society? I think maybe not. And part of the reason is, as Dean Saab said, you know, mostly so far, the social sciences has received very little attention. And even the students of sociology like myself, we mostly came as leftover because we could not get enrolled into any, we could not become the doctor, we could not become the engineers. So we thought, let's get admission in sociology, let's get admission in psychology, or let's get admission in any of the social sciences. I think this is the time, and this conference certainly would create avenues that we break these kinds of myths. And we are not leftover, we are the top of the top. And we bring change, which is very well desired. We can't really lead on bringing change into the natural developments. And while I'm talking about resilience, I just looked at Malcolm, who's sitting here from the University of California, Davis. And we once talked about the positive deviance, if you remember Malcolm. And that's what is needed in this country. You know, we have a lot positive that needs to be reflected. And I remember, and I will remind Dr. Mukhtar Sahib as well, we recently had a great Heritage Now conference that we jointly done at Lahore. And while I was looking at the beautiful cultural presentations, the dance, the music, and some of the songs my foreign colleagues were asking me, they were like 700, 800 years old. But they're still listened and heard with great attention, passion. And I was just sitting and thinking, and I might have mentioned to Dr. Mukhtar that, I mean, this is the beauty of Pakistan and the beauty of Pakistani society, our social life, which is crushed between strange globalization and extremism in this country. And that can be only overcome if we are working through the social science forums. As you all know, if I go back to the British Council has spent now 70 years in Pakistan. This was our 70th anniversary. And if I look at the role of British Council in this country, that has also been very soft. Professional development, if you all remember. So British Council has been around, and certainly the professional development is around, the elements of humanity. And that's what British Council has been doing. We enjoyed partnership with the Higher Education Commission, for example, with Lahore College for Women University. We established partnership between the London University of London and the University of Lahore Women University to do research around the sustainable development and environmental issues. But most of it is, again, around the social science. So I am really impressed, and I ensure during my role, Dr. Mukhtar, you will have all my support, and Dr. Najma, to whatever avenues we can find together to support the social science development in this country. Thank you very much once again.
It is my privilege to introduce Dr. Uzma Qureshi, Vice Chancellor, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities at Lahore College for Women University. Dr. Uzma did her Masters of Education from University of Manchester, Doctor of Philosophy from University of Birmingham, and postdoctorate in Gender Equity and Higher Education from University of Cambridge. She has over 20 years experience of teaching and research in higher education, Her professional interests include curriculum development and leadership training. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Uzma Qureshi, VC, Lahore College for Women University, to please address the conference.
Thank you, Madam, for this very nice and kind introduction. Professor Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, Professor Dr. Naveed Malik, Rector, Virtual University, Conference Chair, Professor Dr. Najma Najam, keynote speakers, distinguished guests, students, Assalamu alaikum and greetings. Well, these keynote speakers have set the tone for these 3 days. I think I'll keep my comments to the minimum. Of course, it is very, very important for us to engage in a, in a dialogue and also in research which has real impact on our social lives and personal lives. The keynote speakers have given us very clear directions, and I'm very glad about that. From social transformations to resilience to making necessary connections between the social phenomena to come up with strategies and solutions to the problems that we are facing these days. Social scientists somehow or the other have been disconnected in this country. This is what I have noticed, that we tend to focus on issues that probably do not offer solutions to the problems that we are facing. My hope from this conference is, this 3 days interaction is that we come up with something concrete in the end, some strategies which universities can take up to address the problem that we're facing in social science research. I agree with Denise Dawais that we need to publish, we need to have a voice. Publishing internationally gives us voice. I've heard my students say that, I know my colleagues, whenever we sit together, we always discuss that somehow or the other, Pakistan is not visible in literature. Even, it can be positive or negative, but mostly we feel that somewhat the disadvantage because our voices are missing in social science research. And I would encourage my students to take this opportunity to interact with these international scholars and scientists who've come all the way to Pakistan. And they're offering their expertise and insights into their areas of specialization. I'll be very glad to see if my students and my colleagues are able to develop a network at the end of the conference to come with her. And she has always supported, even at personal level, Madam, I'm very grateful for your initiatives and your support and your patronage to Lahore College for Women University. We would like to see more of your initiatives in collaboration with us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I am honored to introduce Professor Dr. Naveed Malik, the founder rector of the Virtual University of Pakistan. Dr. Malik obtained his Doctor of Science degree from MIT in the field of electrical engineering and computer science. In 2001, Dr. Malik was asked by the government to spearhead the effort to establish the Virtual University of Pakistan, and it is because of the sincere and dedicated efforts of his team that this university came into being. He is a lifetime member of the Pakistan Institute of Physics and was awarded the Pakistan Civil Award of Sitara-e-Imtiaz for his services to education. I request Dr. Naveed Malik to please address the conference.
Professor Dr. Mukhtar Sahib, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, Dr. Uzma Qureshi, Vice Chancellor, Lahore College for Women University, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to this International Conference on Social Sciences and Humanities in the New Millennium, Challenges and Prospects. So this has been actually the year of conferences for Virtual University. We have organized a large number of symposia and conferences at our home campus, thanks primarily to Dr. Babar and his team, which were mostly about life sciences, but there was an assortment. And then rounding off the year, starting with October, we had a large international conference on biotechnology. In November, we had our 4th e-learning and distance education conference, LDEC 2017. And now we're rounding off the year with this international conference. Virtual University and Higher Education Commission, as you know, both go back to year 2002, so this is also our 15th year of existence, and therefore it's an apt way to celebrate an academic enterprise by rounding it off with an academic conference, which is, I think, the largest and the best of the 3 that we have organized this year. I am not a social scientist, but it is obvious to anyone who is a thinking human being that social sciences have come of age, and not only come of age, are of critical importance to where we are at this stage in our national existence. I hope that this conference will provide food for thought, a direction for research, and a direction to how to move ahead and make this country a vibrant, progressive, and dynamic country again. Dr. Baba mentioned about the lovely weather we have in Lahore. I'm sorry, it's not the lovely weather that I had dreamt of. The demo weather days are over. They happened in October and November. Now it's the cold, clammy winter season setting in. Nonetheless, the beautiful and glorious city of Lahore has enough attractions for all those of you who have come from outside. So I would strongly urge that you take some time out and do visit the historic sites or enjoy just the culture of Lahore. Okay. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing the deliberations of the conference, and I hope that everybody has a productive, interactive, and useful experience over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We are honored to have Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, Chairman, Higher Education Commission, Pakistan, as the chief guest of the inaugural ceremony. Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed has been the Executive Director of Higher Education Commission of Pakistan since 2013. Dr. Ahmed previously served as Deputy Director General of Islamic Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in Rabat, Morocco. There he was responsible for the Directorates of Education, Science, Culture and Communication and regional centers. Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed holds PhD from University of California, Riverside, USA, and has 25 years of educational development and management credentials. He has been pivotal in the development of higher education management policy as well as allied matters. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, our chief guest for the International Conference for Social Sciences and Humanities, to please address the conference.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Dr. Naveed Malik, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Uzma Qureshi, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Najma, Dr. Anita, other colleagues from British Council and from other Honorable Vice Chancellors sitting here, ex-Vice Chancellors, sitting Vice Chancellors, distinguished guest speaker from other countries, my old friend from California, we are cousin, you know Dr. Makka? Yeah. And faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I'm thankful to both Vice Chancellors and of course Dr. Najma that when they asked me to come here, it is really an honor for me too. The reason I particularly decided to come was not only that because it's the first international conference virtual university is organizing, and I being the one of those virtual professors with virtual university, I thought this is also my responsibility to go. But the second very important reason was because Dr. Naveed Malik is completing his term. Tomorrow is his last day as far as the term is concerned. So I thought this is the time I must go and put on record appreciation and recognition of the wonderful work he has done for Pakistan. I personally have seen him working from scratch on one piece of paper when he brought this idea of setting up virtual university in Pakistan. And that's how we owe you in a big way as a nation. Thank you very much for the wonderful work you have done for Pakistan. Now virtual university, mashallah, has emerged as one of those prime institution in Pakistan, not only in Pakistan but in the rest of the world. And I was very happy last week we were in Islamabad. There was a competition by Huawei, and one of the students who won that competition, who is now, they have gone to China was from the virtual university. That showed that, mashallah, how much. Similarly, Dr. Uzma institution, prime institution, another prime institution in Pakistan, catering the need of higher education, especially for the girls, and they are also doing a wonderful job. And Dr. Najma, of course, the first woman vice chancellor in a women university, mashallah. And I still remember when Dr. Najma came in Rawalpindi and he was carrying even the chairs and telling okay, which chair I should put where. And she played a very important role in setting up this first women university in Pakistan. Thank you, Dr. Najma, to you also. Dr. Anita, I know Dr. Anita, she's in Californian system, you know, we have so many campuses. I think now, how many there are? 10, 11 now. No, but you also went to UC.
I went to Berkeley.
Berkeley, yeah. So in UC system, they all, whenever they meet each other, they say we are cousins, you know.
Yes.
Whether you are a faculty member, you are a student, so but that relationship we are also cousins. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important subject, and I must congratulate Dr. Najma Virtual University and of course Dr. Uzma University that they came together and they have started addressing the social issues in Pakistan. By the way, let me clarify a few things that it is not the funding. I think somebody said that the funds are not available for the social science. It is not the funding basically. It was not a choice. Of course, when HEC started and we pushed science and technology subject for a reason that we need a social and financial sustainability of the country. So we need to push those technology people so they should come forward and contribute something for Pakistan. But we never ignored social science part. From the beginning, because earlier I was member operation planning with Dr. Ataur Rahman and his team, then later on, of course, executive director. At every stage, we kept dedicated resources for the social scientists, whether it was scholarship scheme, whether it was the research grants, whether it was the travel grants, we always kept 30% resources for the social science. It is the choice of the people. And you know, we are all educationist people. It is the market which sends the trend. Where are the jobs available? Where is and our nation is always going for the buzzword, you know. We are just starting, there was once there was a boom of IT, everybody started IT. Then there was a telecommunication and we were getting engineers from Egypt and other country, and we were late in starting in Pakistan. Later on when we started, everybody started doing the telecommunication. Now the poor guys, they are looking for some job of 20,000 rupees, you know. So this is the responsibility of the society, the market, the government and institution to create a balance in the society. And I agree 100% with them that to create a better society, we need to have a balance. And that is the reason we are pushing hard in the social science area. And you will be pleased to note that since at least this last 4-year time, every year we are doubling the allocation of research grant for the social sciences. Today, if you want to do research, you have no problem as far as the money is concerned. And I will urge you, please do send us proposal, good proposal basically. And by the way, Pakistan at the moment is the best country to have on ground those real cases, whether it is the terrorism, whether it is the intolerance, whether it is the some disaster management, whether it is the earthquake, whether it is the flood, whether it is the human interaction, dharna, all those things. You have all the cases available here. Please do some research. Help society to find out the logic and reason why people behave like that. We cannot afford such type of disintegration in the society. This is very unfortunate that in Pakistan, which is a blessed country, we are socially disintegrated. My friend from the British Consulate was saying that they are celebrating 17th anniversary with the collaboration in Pakistan. That is how exactly the age of Pakistan is. 70-year anniversary we are also celebrating. But in 70 years, what have we achieved, ladies and gentlemen? A big question mark I want to leave with you. I always say it was pity that a country which started, which Allama Iqbal, Vision, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah came forward, a person who was born with the golden spoon, they say. But Allah has given him courage that he should stand up and create a country for, we call it Pakistan. So this was the effort of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that he took a nation and he was in search of a country, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us in the month of Ramadan a beautiful country, Pakistan, with every kind of resources available, whether the 4 seasons we are getting every year in Pakistan, we have all those 4 seasons. We have desert, we have Himalaya, we have plains, we have best irrigation system, and the beautiful hard-working people. But look what happened. In 70 years, today a country is looking toward a nation. This is the very unfortunate part, and that responsibility rests on you and me and our people, especially in social science. What happened? What went wrong? That we are divided into so many sectors, so many small groups, and we don't tolerate each other. Even 10 people can go out and say, we are in dharna, we don't want to do that. I was just yesterday with Uzma, I was telling them that I stopped one university in Islamabad, that you cannot offer PhD because you are not having requisite requirement of the PhD faculty and other thing. The next week, there was a lot of media folks with the cameras standing out of HEC, and I was told that there are a group of students who came there and they want to give dharna against me. Why? They say that please give us PhD. So just imagine, with dharna we can give a PhD. So why to study then? So ladies and gentlemen, these are the issues which Pakistani societies we are facing as a society. As a nation, please help us. You are the people. Do some empirical data, get some empirical data, the real data, and come up with a solution. Forget about your publication. This is a survival mode we are going through. This is the, when you have some problem in computer, it will quickly go to safe mode, right, Anita? And we are in the safe mode at the moment. Help us to come out of this mess, which has been created by friends, which has been created by us, which has been created by some not so friendly countries. But that is the life. So ladies and gentlemen, I think enough of these number games, enough of impact factor. I agree with you. And Anita, by the way, Dean Saab, you said we have to arrange journals in Pakistan. You have to you have to publish, you have to bring journal, and HEC is always there to help you. We have dedicated funding available for you. But to have the better quality journal, this responsibility rests with you. To have the journals which are at par with the rest of the world, that is responsibility with the faculty. I will love to support it. 10 journals you want to start, I have no problem, provided you have the requisite material there. And I agree with Anita that why not publish in good journals internationally? We should be kind of confident enough that we have very good talented people. Last September, Thomson Reuters published a report. Pakistan, another brick in the BRICS country. That shows that how much talented this youth and our researcher have. So don't be shy, come forward and publish in good journals. And by the way, I will love to have more Pakistani journals being recognized at the international level. I can only provide you resources, and that is available. You tell me and you will get it tomorrow. But the rest you have to do it. And similarly, and let me share with you quickly that we have already a committee of social scientists, and Dr. Najma used to be chair of that committee. We have already now divided so many subcommittees. They are working in each their respective area. We have a consortium of social scientists. We are going to activate it again. It was very active in beginning, but later on it was politicized. We are taking up the charge of that thing, inshallah. And very soon you will be having a good news that how we are working on that. Similarly, we have already decided and already established a Pakistan Social Science Research Council. And inshallah, in next few weeks' time, you will see that we are going to bring that on ground. It is going to be at par with the rest of the world, and we will give them the lump sum funding and let them decide in which area they want to do research. Every year we advertise thematic research grants in social science. Social scientists are not stopped that you cannot apply on bigger pie of this promotion of research, but we have also created a separate window purely for social scientist people. We call them the thematic research grant. And every year there is a huge amount of resources, but unfortunately whenever we advertise, only 1 or 2 universities they come forward and maximum they can win, and they are again pure theoretical type of research. I will urge you to go for applied research. I will urge you to go for a real issue which as a society, Pakistani society, we are facing. And I think this is the best way, not only to support your department or to support your this sector of the social science, but also help this country, this society, that they should come out of those social issues we are facing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are human beings. We are human beings. In science, they say Homo sapien, I always say. But unfortunately, we are less social, more animal. Let's make our nation more social so that we are human beings. I think this is the way forward. I once again appreciate your coming here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. All good speakers from sitting here and all speakers sitting there from other countries. I think these type of activities are good. At least they can shake us for some time, and we might make something better tomorrow for our society. And as I always say, let's work together for humanity. Let's work together for the future of our generation. Let's work together for prosperity of this world to make it heaven, inshallah. Pakistan Paindabad.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouraging talk and sharing the research opportunities in social sciences and humanities. Now I invite the General Chair LDEC 2017 and Advisor Academics, Virtual University of Pakistan, Professor Dr. Najma Najam. She is one of the senior most psychologists of the country and has over 45 years of teaching, research, administrative experience in the public sector universities. Dr. Najma has served as the Vice Chancellor of Karakoram International University, Gilgit. She has also been the founder Vice Chancellor of the first Women University of Pakistan, Fatma Jinnah Women University. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Najma Najam to please address the conference for the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, conferences such as these are the culmination of commitment, of hard work, of persevering, of many individuals, committees, professionals and others working together to make it a success with the blessing and support of all the key persons. It is my pleasant duty now to thank everyone. Let me begin by thanking my honorable colleague, Dr. Mukhtar, Chairperson, Higher Education Commission, for coming today, especially traveling from Islamabad to attend this conference and to grace the occasion. This again strongly reiterates the support Higher Education Commission has for social sciences and humanities, professional development, research and other activities, as Dr. Mukhtar has already shown and spoken about. I always say, Dr. Saab, you said it very rightly, Pakistan is a living laboratory. Ongoing activities, while countries have consolidated, we are now going through the processes, and anybody who wants to do research in Pakistan on issues can come and do it. And that is why we are the prime location for research in social sciences and humanities. I agree there are enough funds given by HEC for social sciences research. I, in fact, am the recipient of one of the largest grants, thematic research grant, which I conducted in Gilgit. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and for your support. The present conference being collaborative, it's an endeavor, and many thanks are due to two important patrons, Professor Dr. Naveed A. Malik, Rector, Virtual University, and Professor Dr. Uzma Qureshi, Vice Chancellor, Lahore College for Women University. They were very supportive from the beginning. The idea was conceived and then discussed with them. And they have continued the support and input throughout the 1 year. It has almost taken us 1 year from the time we conceived it in January of this year. Thank you very much. I think all the delegates and participants will join me in thanking you. I must thank the keynote speakers who have traveled all the way from within the country and abroad. Dr. Adil Najam, who is coming tomorrow, Mr. Javed Jabbar, who is also going to be coming from Karachi, Dr. Chokhui, Dr. Anita Weiss, Drs. Malcolm and Marcia Odels, Dr. Rasul Baksh Rais, Dr. Livia Holden, Dr. Sabrina Kiolfi, Dr. Irene Fries, and the participants from within the country and abroad for special efforts they made to join the deliberations. A very special thanks to the British Council, Pakistan, represented by Area Director Mr. Sajjad in today's proceedings. Special mention I must sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the virtual university teams. The Director of Finance, Mr. Naeem Tariq and his team, Director QEC, Dr. Mohsen, Director ICT, Mr. Asan Puri, and his team. All the technology that you see around us is Mr. Suleiman and his marketing team, and Mr. Babar of Virtual TV and his team. They were involved in supporting the conference and its logistics and the transport and so on and so forth. Thank you very much. This conference would not have been possible without your support. Certainly, the organizing teams from both universities each worked with dedication and professionalism. The virtual team headed by the dynamic Miss Aisha, wherever she is, thank you very much, and your very resilient coordinators, Miss Sadia, Miss Narjis, Miss Nadia, Miss Asma, Miss Afshan, and their teams, and of course the Lahore College Women University Organizing Committee, Dr. Sara Shahid, Dr. Anju Zia, Dr. Amna, and their respective teams. It's a huge effort, and we had two very different kinds of universities, one which was very virtual and one which was not as virtual but had the capacity. So we learned a lot in the last 1 year when we worked together. And let me say that they almost coordinated 24 hours a day, thanks to the miracles of ICT. I must thank technology as well, which is around us, but each one of my colleagues used SMSs, Skype, internet, WhatsApp, messages, you name it, and that was used to make this conference a success. These were fully and completely utilized. Let me just thank also in the end, without the participants, without the speakers, without the persons who brought in their research to the forefront, without you the conference would not have been possible. Thank you very much for the 200 plus papers and 40 plus posters that we received from all over the country and abroad. Without you, the conference would not have been success. So this is all in all a huge team effort, collaborative effort, and supportive effort of each other. Thank you very much.
Now we shall be having the souvenir distribution ceremony. The chief guest, Dr. Mukhtar, is requested to please come forward. Lahore College for Women University. I request Dr. Chokhui to please come forward. Mr. Sajjad Imran from British Council. I request the chief guest to present the conference souvenir to VC Lahore College for Women University, Dr. Uzma Qureshi, please. I request the chief guest to present the conference souvenir to Director, Virtual University, Dr. Naveed Malik. and Dean Faculty of Science and Technology, Virtual University, Dr. Masroor Elahi Babar. And the General Chair for ICSSH and Advisor Academics, Virtual University, Dr. Najma Najam. Now I request the Rector, Virtual University, Dr. Naveed Malik, and Vice Chancellor, Lahore College, Dr. Usma Qureshi, to present the conference memento to Dr. Mukhtar Ahmed, our Chief Guest for the inaugural ceremony of Social Sciences and Humanities Conference 2017.